Greetings! Mantare79 here, and welcome back to another deck profile video for Cardfight Vanguard Deerdings! Alright, let's get started. Pressing the A button now. Loading game and proceeding. Here we are in the main menu of the edit deck menu. And now in today's video, the deck profile I'm going to be making one for is a Keter Sanctuaries, Sword Saint Night Dragon, Gramgrace, D-BT09. Alrighty, let's get started. Selecting the deck, entering edit deck, and off we go. Here we are in the edit deck menu. Like I mentioned before, the deck I'm building this deck profile video is a Keter Sanctuaries, Sword Saint Night Dragon, Gramgrace deck, made of cards only available up until D-BT09. And okie dokie, let's begin. Going to filter settings and to pack, show only cards from D-BT1, Genesis the 5 Greats, D-BT2, Rush the Legends, D-BT3, Advance of Intertwined Stars, D-BT4, Awakening of Chakrabarti, D-BT5, Triumphant Return of Brave Heroes, Festival Collection 2021, Festival Collection 2022, Pearl Pack number 1, D-BT6, Blazing Dragon Reborn, D-BT7, Raging Flame against Emerald Storm, D-BT8, Minerva Rising, and D-BT9, Dragon Tree Invasion. Applying filter. Filters applied. Let's get started. First up, the Grade 3 lineup. And now for the Grade 3 lineup. For the Grade 3s in this deck, we are playing Grade 3, Ride Deck, Sword Saint Night Dragon, Gramgrace. Skills. First skill, continuous as a Vanguard. Your Persona Ride also increases the power of your back row units. Second skill, action as a Vanguard once per turn. Cost, Counter Blast 1 and Soul Blast 1. If the cost is paid, draw a card, choose a card from hand, call it to back row center rearguard circle. Until end of turn, that unit can attack from the back row and it gets plus 10,000 power. Third skill, auto as a Vanguard. At the end of battle, your back row center rearguard attacked, put that unit into soul and draw a card. Okie dokie, the Grade 3, Sword Saint Night Dragon, Gramgrace, we have 4 in the deck, 1 in the right deck, 3 in the main deck. Up next, the Grade 3, Knight of War Damage, Fasado. Skills, first skill, continuous as a rearguard. This unit cannot be chosen by your opponent's card effects. Second skill, auto as a rearguard. When this unit attack hits, counter charge 1 and soul charge 1. Alright, the Grade 3, Knight of War Damage, Fasado, we have 2 in the deck. Next, the Grade 3, Knight of Soaring Blade, Fernbale. Skill, auto, from the back row center rearguard circle. At the end of battle, this unit attacked. If your opponent's Vanguard is Grade 3 or greater, cost, Soul Blast 1 and discard a card from hand. If the cost is paid, choose one of your Vanguards with Gramgrace in its card name. It gets plus 10,000 power, plus 1 drive until end of turn. Affirmative, the Grade 3, Knight of Soaring Blade, Fernbale, we have 4 in the deck. And next, the Grade 3, Normal Order, Gradia Gradel. Skills, first skill, continuous. Regulus piece. You may only have 1 Regulus piece in your deck and use it a total of 1 time in a fight. Second skill, Order. Plays if you have a Grade 3 Vanguard with Persona Ride, and if you do not ride this turn, activate Persona Ride. Draw a card. All of your units gets plus 10,000 power this turn, and you're regarded to Persona Road. Confirm, the Grade 3 Normal Order, Gradia Gradel. We have 1 the deck. And at that, we've covered the deck's Grade 3 lineup. Next, let's get on to the Grade 2 lineup. And now, for the Grade 2 lineup. For the Grade 2s in this deck, we are playing Ride Deck, Grade 2, Blaster Dart. Skills, first skill, auto. When this unit is placed on Vanguard Circle or Rearguard Circle, cost, Counter Blast 1 and retire another Rearguard. If the cost is paid, choose one of your opponent's rearguards, retire it. And this unit gets plus 1 drive until end of turn. Second skill, continuous as a rearguard. During your turn, if your rearguard was retired this turn, this unit gets plus 5,000 power. Okie dokie, the Grade 2, Blaster Dart, we have 1 in the right deck. Next up, the Grade 2, Drilling Angel. Skill, auto. When this unit is placed on the rearguard circle, cost, put a unit card from drop into soul. If the cost is paid, look at 3 cards on the top of your deck, choose up to 1 card. If the same card name as the card put into your soul for this cost from among them, call to rearguard and shuffle your deck. Alrighty, the Grade 2, Drilling Angel, we have 4 in the deck. Next up, the Grade 2, Glorious Storm Dragon. Skill, action as a rearguard once per turn. If you Persona Road this turn, cost Counterblast 1. If the cost and paid, your opponent puts all of their rear guards in the same columns as unit on the bottom of their deck in any order. This unit gets plus 5,000 power until end of turn. If your Persona Road is active, even if Persona Ride is activated outside of normal ride. Affirmative, the Grade 2 Glorious Storm Dragon. We have 3 in the deck. Next, the Grade 2 Resentment Dragon. Skill, Auto. When this unit is placed on the rear guard circle by card ability, cost Soul Blast 2. If the cost and paid, Countercharge 1, and this unit gets plus 5,000 power until end of turn. Confirm, the Grade 2 Resentment Dragon. We have 3 in the deck. And with that, we've covered the deck's Grade 2 lineup. Next, let's get on to the Grade 1 lineup. And now, for the Grade 1 lineup. For the Grade 1s in this deck, we're playing Ride Deck Grade 1 Little Sage Marin. Skills, first skill, Auto. When this unit is rode upon by a Grade 2 with Blaster in its card name, look at the top 7 cards of your deck, choose up to 1 Grade 2 card with Blaster in its card name from among them, reveal it, put it into hand, and shuffle your deck. If you did not reveal a card, choose a Vanguard Brave from Soul and call to rear guard. Second skill, continuous as a rear guard. During your turn, if you have 3 or more units, this unit gets plus 2,000 power. Okie dokie, the Grade 1 Little Sage Marin. We have 1 in the Ride deck. Up next, the Grade 1 Palladium Zeal Dragon. Sentinel, Perfect Guard. Skills, first skill, Continuous Sentinel. You may only have up to 4 cards of Continuous Sentinel deck. Second skill, Auto. When this unit is put in the Guardian Circle, choose one of your units, and it cannot be hit until end of battle. If your hand has 2 more cards, choose a card from hand and discard it. Alrighty, the Grade 1 Palladium Zeal Dragon. We have 3 in the deck. Next, the Grade 1 Blitz Order Elementarius Sanctitude. Skills, first skill, Continuous Sentinel. You may only have up to 4 cards of Continuous Sentinel deck. Second skill, Continuous. You may only have 1 Elementarius Sanctitude in the deck. Third skill, Order. If your opponent's Vanguard has triple drive, this ability can be played without paying the cost. Place the cost of, discard a card from hand if your Vanguard is Grade 3 or less. If the cost is paid, choose one of your units, and it cannot be hit until end of battle. Remove this card. Affirmative, the Grade 1 Blitz Order Elementarius Sanctitude. We have 1 in the deck. Next up, the Grade 1 Dragon Tree Wretch Solda Skahab. Skills, first skill, Auto. When this unit is placed on the rearguard circle, cost Counterblast 1. If the cost is paid, choose one of your rearguard circles without any Dragon Tree markers, and put a Dragon Tree marker. Second skill, Auto from the back row rearguard circle once per turn. When your rearguard is placed on the front row in the same columns as unit, cost Counterblast 1. If the cost is paid, draw a card. And confirm, the Grade 1 Dragon Tree Wretch Solda Skahab. We have 2 in the deck. Next up, the Grade 1 Bringer of Soaring Wind Lacti. Skill, Auto from the back row rearguard circle. At the end of your turn, if you have a Vanguard of Gramgrace in its card name, cost, retire this unit. If the cost is paid, choose a Grade 3 unit card from Soul and put it into your hand. Okay, the Grade 1 Bringer of Soaring Wind Lacti. We have 4 in the deck. And with that, we've covered the deck's Grade 1 lineup. Next, let's get on to the Grade 0 lineup. And now for the Grade 0 lineup. For the Grade 0s in this deck, I am playing Ride Deck Grade 0 Vanguard Brave. Skill, Auto. When this unit is rode upon, if you went second, draw a card. And for Vanguard Brave, we have 1 in the Ride Deck. And with that, we've covered the deck's Grade 0 lineup. Next, let's get on to the Trigger lineup. And now for the Trigger lineup. For the triggers in this deck, we are playing Grade 0, Light Dragon D-BT Honors Amritonia over Trigger. Skill, trigger, additional effect until end of turn. You also perform drive checks for the battles or rear attack. Already, the Grade 0, Light Dragon D-BT Honors Amritonia over Trigger. We have 1 in the deck. Next up, the Grade 0, Blade Feather Dragon Critical Trigger. Skill, Auto as a rear guard. At the end of battle, this unit boosted. Cost, put this unit into your soul. If the cost is paid, choose one of your units, and it gets plus 2,000 power until end of turn. Okie dokie, the Grade 0, Blade Feather Dragon, Critical Trigger, we have 4 in the deck. Next up, the Grade 0, Daring Knight Saul, Critical Trigger, we have 4 in the deck. Next, the Grade 0, Protection Magic Parabi, Draw Trigger, Skill, Continuous as a Guardian. If your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, this unit gets plus 5,000 shield. Alrighty, the grade 0 Protection Magic Karabi Draw Trigger, we have 3 in the deck. Up next, the grade 0 Palpitation Angel Heal Trigger, we have 2 in the deck. And next up, the grade 0 Affectionate Heart Angel Heal Trigger. Skill Auto. When this unit is put in the Guardian Circle, if your Vanguard's grade is less than your opponent's Vanguard grade, this unit gets plus 10,000 shield until end of battle. Okay, the grade 0 Affectionate Heart Angel Heal Trigger, we have 2 in the deck. And that, we've covered the deck's trigger lineup. And with that, we've covered the deck's build and card effects. For the cards in this deck, we are playing 2 grade 3 Knight of War Damage Fasado, 4 grade 3 Sword Say Night Dragon Gramgrace, 4 grade 3 Knight of Soaring Blade Fernmail, 1 grade 3 Gradia Gretel, 1 grade 2 Blaster Dart, 4 grade 2 Drilling Angel, 3 grade 2 Glorious Storm Dragon, 3 grade 2 Resentment Dragon, 1 grade 1 Little Sage Marin, 3 grade 1 Palladium Zeal Dragon, 1 grade 1 Elementaris Sanitude, 2 grade 1 Dragon Tree Wretch Soda Skahab, 4 grade 1 Bringer Soaring Wind Lacti, 1 grade 0 Wingo Brave starting unit. And for the triggers in this deck, we are playing 1 Over Trigger Amertonia, 8 Critical Triggers, 3 Draw Triggers, and 4 Heal Triggers. Alrighty, the deck's been built, card effects explained. Next, let's get on to testing out the deck. And here we are, back in the main menu, going to test out a deck. So heading over to Fight menu, selecting CPU Fight, choosing the deck I just showcased to you, the Keter Sanctuaries, Sword Say Night Dragon Gramgrace D-BT09 deck, and okie dokie, selecting the deck, selecting the opponent I'm gonna test it out on. I'm gonna test it out on Dark States Tatsuki Bunkyo normal difficulty, and click. The battle begins. Let's get started. Here we are in the fight. We're gonna decide who goes first. So rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Scissors to rock, I lose, going second. Drawing our starting hands, I got myself a Critical Trigger, Gradia Gretel, Persona Ride, Soda Skahab, and a Drilling Angel. Not a bad starting hand. I already have a Persona Ride in hand, so redrawing the triggers and Gradia Gretel. This, yes, I perfect guard and a lefty. Good draw. My opponent goes first. He rides the grade 1. In the Calm Streets Chaos. End of their turn, my turn. Draw. I ride from the right deck, Little Sage Marin. For the right deck cost, I am discarding. I discard Glorious Storm Dragon and ride Marin. Skill of Wingo Brave. Drawing a card. Draw. 2 perfect guards, not too shabby. Going to the battle phase. 8k to 8k, Vanguards. The attack goes through. Drive check. Grade 2. 1 damage and boom! Damage check. No trigger, safe. That's the end of my turn. My opponent's turn. My opponent rides to grade 2, Quagmire Solace Chaos. Grade 1 skill, revealing a Crimson Expeller and draw trigger. Into the Soul is a Crimson Expeller, calling to the rear guards, full formation. Skill, Soul Charging, and rear guard the Vanguard, 10k. Soul Charge 1, the Soul Charge card was a 2 copies of Belinda. Okie dokie, I barely have anything to guard with, so, this is a tough choice. 10k from rear guard, 10k from Vanguard, 18k from this side, not counting triggers, so I'm only at 0 damage. My opponent has 2 cards in hand, so I should go all out in my next turn. I'll take all the attacks, hope I get lucky. No guard. 1 damage. Ow! Damage check. Yes! Critical trigger! Lucky trigger! And power of the Vanguard. The Vanguard needs 1 trigger to pass. 10k to 18k, 1 to pass, no guard. Drive check. No trigger, safe, so the attack fails. Ka-chink! Here comes 18k from the rear guard. No guard, gonna take it. Ow! Damage check. No trigger. Not Fern Bale. End of my opponent's turn, my turn. Stand and draw. I ride from the right deck, Blaster Dark. Right deck cost, I am discarding. Discarding, I'm at 2 damage. My opponent goes to grade 3 next turn, only 3 cards in hand, so discarding the critical trigger. Ride, Blaster Dark. Skill of Marin, preview the top 7 of my deck. Look for a grade 2 blaster. No blasters in sight, so shuffle and Superior Call Wingull Brave from the Soul. Call. Skill of Blaster Dark, Counterblast 1. Retreat my Wingull Brave. Retire an opponent's rear guard. I retire Gungran. +1 drive to Vanguard. Next, I call to the rear guard Solda Scathap. And, not activating its skill, I call Drilling Angel. Call. Angel skill. Hold on. Scathap skill. Counterblast 1. Draw a card. Draw. Heal trigger. Come on. Fine, whatever. Angel skill. I move Gloria Storm Dragon to Soul. Preview the top 3 cards of my deck. Come on. No Gloria Storms. And 2 triggers. Seriously? Shuffle them back to deck, and I call to the rear guard Resentment Dragon. Call. That ought to do it to the battle phase. Resentment Dragon attacks the rear guard. Amazing Magician, 10k to 10k. The attack goes through. Slash, 1 less rear guard to worry about. Vanguard to Vanguard, 10k, Twin Drive. First check. No trigger, Drilling Angel. Second check. Yes, critical trigger, just what I needed. Critical to Vanguard. Power to the rear guard, Drilling Angel. Crit up. Power up. 2 damage. Slash. Damage check first. Critical, so lucky. All to Vanguard. And second check. No trigger. Safe. Boosted by Solda Scathap. Drilling Angel attacks the rear guard, piercing assistant. 28k. The attack goes through, and boom! 1 less rear guard to worry about. End of my turn, my opponent's turn. My opponent rides the grade 3. Approaching Fang's Chaos, grade 2 skill. Soul Charge. A trigger, and... Nope, not trigger. Calling the rear guard Belinda, and Soul Charge again. Yes! Over trigger out of the deck, lucky me. Battle phase, Vanguard to Vanguard. 21k. Skill of Vanguard. Powering up and powering up. No guard, gonna take it. I need a counterblast, so first check. No trigger, Electro Spartan. Second check. No trigger. That's a pony, so 1 damage. Ow! Damage check. No trigger. Not another Foreign Bale. Come on. End of my opponent's turn. My turn. Stand and draw. Yes, finally a Fern Bale. I ride from the right deck. Sword Saint Night Dragon Gramgrace. Right deck cost. I am discarding Drilling Angel. Discard and ride. Gramgrace. Skill of Gramgrace. Counterblast 1. Soul Blast 1. And draw a card. I drew a Lacti. Superior calls the back row. Fernvale. Powering up. And then I call, Lacti to the rear guard. Call. That ought to do it, so on to the battle phase. First, my, boosted by, should I go Fernvale to get the drive +1 first, or attack rear guards first? If my opponent gets lucky with a trigger to get the 23k, so I should try to play it safe. Boosted by Lacti, my Resentment Dragon attacks the Vanguard, 18k. Guarding with a 28k, the attack is blocked. Now my Fernvale attacks the Vanguard, 23k. The attack goes through. Slash. Damage check. Draw trigger. I made the right choice to attack the rear guard first before Fernvale, so skill of Fernvale, Soul Blast 1, Soul Blast, and discard a card, discarding a critical trigger, discard, and Vanguard plus power, drop +1. Then skill of Gramgrace. I move Fernvale to the soul. Draw a card. Yes, Pasado. I got some good attackers for next turn. Vanguard to Vanguard, 23k, triple drive. Perfect guard. Discarding for the perfect guard cost a Gungram, first check. No trigger, Lacti. Come on, second check. Yes, a draw trigger, just what I needed. Power up to my rear guard Drilling Angel. It can attack now. I drew, not another heal trigger. Third check. Alright, over trigger. I give 1 Adrenaline power to Drilling Angel. Draw a card and perfect guard. I can use that. Now boosted by Soul to Skahap. Angel attacks the Vanguard. 1 drive. The attack goes through. Drive check. Yes! Critical trigger! Just what I needed. Giving all effects to Drilling Angel. Critical up and power up. And boom! 2 damage. First. No trigger. Second check. Critical trigger. 6 damage. Cannot heal. Power trigger effects wasted and battle over. Winner me. That was a pretty okay-ish fight. I could at least try some new cards out and they worked pretty well with this deck. So I got win, double trigger, attack 100,000 more power, 1 of 6 turns, drew an over trigger, did a superior call, retired 5 opposing units, 1 of 10 or more cards in hand, drew 3 more times in 1 turn. I got 3050 VP, total 314,175 VP. Pressing A to go next, leaving the fight, returning to fight menu. Back to the fight menu, returning to the main menu, and off we go to the edit deck menu. With that, the deck's been built, card effects explained, and I just finished the testing of the deck out in front of you. So first I want to say is, thank you to the viewers for watching today's video, and to please stay tuned for more videos that I plan to upload in the near future. I also hope you all show support by liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing to my videos and channel. And with that I say, goodbye, and see you all soon!